cowboy hats, or they're wearing really weird, loud, funny-looking costumes. They wore costumes because that's what they knew. When you went to a show, when you went to an R&B show, if you went to a rock show, if you went to, there was a rock band that I used to listen to a little bit when I was a young guy, it was called Kiss. You guys ever heard of Kiss? Kiss would put on, I don't think they do it anymore, but Kiss would put on all this paint, all this makeup, and they would come out in high heel boots and leather pants and leather jackets and playing their music. They had long hair, it was a show, right? It was a big show with Kiss. Well, hip hop was similar. There were artists who hip hop was something similar. There were artists who looked at guys like Kiss. Got artists who looked at guys like Kiss, artists who looked at some of the disco artists, and they said, that's the way I'm going to dress. Can you find a picture of Africa Bambaataa for me, Mr. Johnson?
Absolutely.
Soul Sound Cool.
Yeah.
I want to show them what that looks like. But
that's Kiss.
That's Kiss. Okay?
Kiss in their movie.
That's Kiss. All right? That's Kiss. So now, can you imagine a rapper looking like that today? No. Right? But believe it or not, there were rappers in the 1970s who took influences from stuff like that. Okay? So they didn't know how to dress.
Like that.
Right. This is Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. This is how rappers used to dress before Run DMC. I'm telling you why these guys are important. I'm giving you some reasons. This is how rappers used to dress. Now, if you go to a concert and some guys come out looking like that, now you might run out the door, right? Like, what the heck? Okay? But that was considered the hip-hop look back then. Take me back to Run DMC. Now, what made these guys, Darryl McDaniels, Joseph Simmons, and Jason Mizell so popular was that at the time that everybody who did rap was dressing like this, they came out on stage dressed like this. You see how they look? They just look normal, right? They just look like guys you see walking up the street, right? I mean, they got a little style, they got the hats, these got his glasses. But the thing that made them really popular with people, especially in the United States, is they were the first rap group who looked like you. They were the first rap group who dressed like you. They talked like you. They wore your shoes. They wore, what brand of shoe they popularized?
Adidas.
Adidas, right? My Adidas. Right? They got a song called My Adidas.
Yeah,
So they were the first guys we ever saw that looked like us. So all of a sudden, now what has happened to you is that the culture has gone from simply being this thing that we all kind of hear about, participate. Now everybody's looking at it and it's like, wow, I can be a part of that too. These guys are just like me. And they had songs. Actually I have a pair of these. This is the shoe though that they popularized. It was called the Shell Toe Adidas. Okay? I'm gonna tell you, they were the first rap group. Okay, they were the first rap group to dress normal. They were also the first rap group to get a major shoe deal. You know how LeBron has a shoe deal, you got the Michael Jordan shoe, you got Kobe Bryant shoe, you got the Run DMC deal. No rap group had ever gotten a shoe deal, $1.5 million shoe deal they got. And I'm gonna tell you how they got it, okay? It's in my book. They did a show one night at a spot called Madison Square Garden. Very famous stadium, right? Just like the Palace of Auburn Hills. It's where the New York Knicks play in here. Very famous stadium. They did a show at the Madison Square Garden one night. Nobody knew just how popular this hip hop thing was. It was kids just like you, but it was like 30,000. Nobody knew just how popular. This was I think this was like 84, 85. Nobody knew just how popular this thing was. No, I'm sorry, it was 88. Nobody knew just how popular this was. People had known that hip hop had kind of started in the late 70s. It was becoming popular, going around the world. But still, the country really didn't understand how significant this was. So one night, Run DMC does a show at Madison Square Garden. There are about 20, 30,000 people there. Okay? There's a song called My Adidas is out. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it. There's a song called My Adidas. Run stands on stage. And usually when they would do their song, when they would segue in their song, Run would go, D, what are those on your feet? And he would say, these. He would say, yeah, what are those on your feet? He would say, these are my Adidas. And then we'd go into the song. Well, on this particular night, for no reason that I can figure out, that they don't even know, okay? This is the way the story goes. This particular night, they decided, they were doing Madison Square Garden. They're from New York City, so they were home. Their friends were there. They really wanted to impress. So instead of Joe pointing to Daryl's shoe and going, Daryl, what's that on your feet? He says, D, take that off. Take that shoe off and put that shoe in the air. So, you know, they would never wear laces. Like, these have laces. These guys never wore laces in their shoe. That was part of their look. And so he took the shoe off, he held the shoe up, and he said, everybody in the stadium, if you've got an Adidas, put your Adidas shoe in the air. There were 20,000 people in this audience. About 17,000 pairs of Adidas went into the air. Okay? A representative from Adidas who never heard of these guys just happened to be at Madison Square Garden and saw this. Can you imagine if you're selling something, some guys you've never heard of come out, tell 30,000 people to put their shoes in the air, and more than half of them do? You want those guys to help sell your product, don't you? You want those guys to help sell your product. So they became the first guys to get a major shoe deal because of that Madison Square Garden. You might not want to show the actual show, but they became, oh, okay. But they became extremely popular. To this day, no other rap group has been able to match what they've done in terms of those kinds of things. Now, there are groups that have sold more money, sold more records, made more money, because rap has gone on, but I guarantee you, if you walk into a room with any of your favorite rappers, Eminem, Macklemore, Nicki Minaj, you walk into a room with any of your favorite rappers, these guys come in the room, your favorite rappers are going to bow down to these guys. I've seen it. Eminem introduced them at the when they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Almost lost his mind. I've seen them walk into rooms with people who are supposed to be more famous than them. These people lose their mind. I was in Mexico with Dee. We were working on our book, and I'm going to get into that in a second. And I had a guy I'd never seen. It was a guy who was on the wait staff at the hotel where we were staying. And he came up to him while we were having breakfast, and he said, he had an old beat-up pair of Adidas. And he said, can you sign these, Mr. McDaniels? He said, because if it wasn't for your music was how I learned English. So that was, meeting him was important because he changed this man's life. Like, this man didn't know English, and he learned English listening to Run DMC. That's how powerful this music was. This was Eminem when he introduced Run DMC. Run DMC was the second rap group ever to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's Eminem. And you see who he's dressed like? Who is he dressed like? He's dressed like Run DMC, right? Do you see that? Your favorite rapper is their favorite. They're your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. That's the way I like to put it. Run DMC is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. So, anyway, let me get off into the story. So anyway, now, so these guys have become very popular. But, and here's the sad part, with popularity, a lot of times with fame, with money, comes a lot of pressure. Okay, comes a lot of pressure. There comes a lot of people who want to use you, who want to cheat you, who don't want to treat you well. There come a lot of people who want things from you simply because they think you're famous or rich, okay? And sometimes even your friendships within things start to suffer, okay? You ever been on a team, on a sports team with somebody, and they do something you don't like, a good friend, and you get mad at them? Time you drop the ball, or pass me the ball, or shoot the shot, the pressure of performing together sometimes can have a real negative impact on your relationship with people, right? You guys ever notice that sometimes? When you got to work in a close situation with somebody and find out, man, I don't really like this person as much as I thought I did, right? These guys were friends since they were 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. These guys grew up together in a place called Hollis, Queens in New York City. It wasn't until they got famous and they started traveling around the world, and they started making money and became this very popular group, that their friendship started to break up. After a while, Joe started to see these guys. So Joe was the front man. It was Run DMC. So Joe was the leader, okay? Run was the leader. Jay was the DJ, DMC. Jay didn't even actually he wasn't officially a member of the group until the third album. He didn't even sign a contract until the third album. He was just their friend. But these guys were friends. And so their arrangement was a friendship arrangement. It was a handshake arrangement. I'll do this part, you'll do that part, you'll do that part, I'll do this part. Well, after they started getting famous, after started feeling a lot of the pressure, they made two incredible first albums. Their first albums were really, really good. And then they made a third album that was legendary. Like their third album was considered to be the first true classic rap album. Amazing album. It's called Raising Hell. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I have an entire chapter of the book dedicated. But after the success, what happens sometimes when you're successful? What do people expect after you're successful? Even more success, right? More pressure. So now they've made 3 amazing albums. Now the pressure's really on with these guys. Well, what happens is they take a year off, they travel, they come back, they make their 4th album. Doesn't do as well as the first one. Doesn't really flop. Doesn't do as well as the first one. That creates even more pressure now. Because now you've gone from just being 3 friends hanging out in the park, doing music together. Now you're this multi-million-dollar music group, right? So that's even more pressure on these guys. So what happens is now the record labels are demanding that they do things a certain way before they can go in and do it like they want to do. Now they can't even do hip-hop the way they want to do it. It's not even fun for them anymore. They've made so much money, they've had so much success, and it's not even fun for them. So they stop being friends. They break up as friends. They're still together as a group because it's business. They've signed contracts, they're making money. So they're going around and, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this with you. Fine, come on. And they go out and they're doing the song, but they're not into it anymore. Their friendships are breaking up. Their friendships are splintering. Worse than that, Daryl starts to drink. He starts to become an alcoholic. He starts to use drugs. He starts to lose his voice as a result of this. Okay? Drugs, alcohol, excessive use of these things, they destroy him. And it began to destroy him. All right? He became so depressed that he actually thought about committing suicide. Okay? Now, can you imagine a guy that famous, that rich, that well-loved around the world, so depressed, so hurt, because he's lost his friends, he doesn't feel like he has a reason to go on, he doesn't have a reason to live, he's not happy with his life, with what he's doing. What that tells me is that living your life and being happy is so much more important than making a bunch of money and being famous. Being true to yourself, being true to who you are, being true to your art, is so much more important. And you guys got to understand that. I mean, I know a lot of people, you guys all have bright futures and you're all going to be wonderful, you're going to be great doctors, lawyers, but remember to be good people in the process. Because no matter what you achieve, if you aren't happy with yourself, if you aren't happy with the way you deal with other people, it will begin to destroy you. And that's what it did to him. Daryl lost his voice. This guy had one of the most distinctive voices in the history of hip-hop. Lost it. I mean, just completely. He suffered from a disease, I forget what, spasmodic dysphonia is the name of it. It's a term where your larynx, your throat opens and closes involuntarily. It's like spasms. You can't control it, okay? Because he drank so much that he lost his voice, okay? His nerves started to deaden. His vocal cords, and he used drugs. So now, he's on the verge of this suicidal, this suicide attempt. He's still going all over the world. And in the book, we talk about, he's in Japan, he's thinking about jumping off of buildings. He's in Germany, he's thinking about poisoning himself. He goes, just terrible, the things that this guy went through. Okay, meanwhile, Joe's kind of going on with his life. I mean, Joe's, fairly stable, he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's not really, it's a business arrangement for him. He's making more of the money anyway. So what happens is, one day Daryl is in this hotel room, and he's really thinking about hurting himself. And he turns on the radio, and on comes this song called Angel by this artist named Sarah McLachlan. Okay? Now again, Daryl's this hardcore hip-hop artist listening to rock music. Sarah McLachlan, if you guys ever heard the song Angel, it is a sweet, very sweet, soft rock kind of song. All right?
She's the one who does. She's the one who does the dog commercial.
Dog commercial.
Adopt the dogs and
There
yeah.
you go. Okay.
That's
Very
sweet.
That's a good touchdown. Thank you. So he starts listening to this music, and just like the guy in Mexico talked about his music transformed his life, Sarah McLachlan's music changed DMC. He realized that he didn't have to be down. He realized that he didn't have to be depressed. This music touched him in a way that all of the hip hop that he had made and had listened to hadn't. Okay? This is about the power of music, all kinds of music, power of all kinds of cultures, guys. So he listens to this and it lifts his spirits. He finally decides he's going to get his life back together. He starts going to the doctor. He stops drinking. He pulls out of the suicidal depression. He pulls his life together. Then, just as he's getting his life together, he finds out that he's adopted. How crazy is that, right? Now you're going through all of this, and you find out your name is DMC, Daryl McDaniel. His name isn't DMC. His real mother's name is Lovelace. Okay? He was adopted, and his parents never told him until he was in his 30s. 30 years old. Can you imagine how devastating that? So now he's got to deal with that. So he's recovering from all of those things. He's dealing with all of those things, but he manages to bring himself out of the break once again by focusing on what's positive, focusing on what makes him valuable. And it's not just that he's a musician. He's a dad. He's a father. He's a good person. He's a great son. He gives to his community. All of the things that make you a good person are what he begins to focus on. It's not just about the music anymore. It's not just about the fame. It's not about the hip-hop. It's really about finding who you are on the inside and using the value and love that you have for that person on the inside to make you a better person. It's easy to get, we can all make money, we can all be famous, and that's great, that's fun, I hope you guys do. But what I really want to leave you with is that it's important for you guys to understand your value. That is more important than anything else. You have to understand your value, okay? So, I've talked a little bit about the book, I've talked a little bit about hip-hop. This is my man DMC now. This is him now. He's 50 years old. He no longer wears the glasses. He wears contact lenses. He shaved his head. He's got a completely different look. He does rock now. He still does some of the Run DMC music. They're not together officially as a group anymore. They broke up after Jam Master Jay passed away in 2002. But he still performs. In fact, they'll be here in July. I'll probably take my kids and meet them and go catch up.